Hi everybody, this is Michelle. I want to walk you through an example of a lesson that was developed in a website by a previous student. This is for the EDU649 final project. So this site was developed by Lisa Johnson, and the site is called Alzheimer's Disease Effective Communication. She used the tool called Zunal.com. It's a very friendly tool. Zunal doesn't have a lot of flexibility, but if you're new to developing websites on the internet, it's a good tool to start out with. It gives you some formatting standard layouts, and it's difficult to change. You can't change this layout, but you do get 7 links to the left, which are your menu items, and you can change the names of these links. But you only have 7 to do everything you need to do for your lesson. The links below are not modifiable. They're part of the Zunal database. So in her welcome page, she's got a brief intro. You could get more descriptive in your welcome page if you wanted to with your lesson. In the introduction, she has her learning goal. She calls it her purpose, but essentially this is her learning goal for her lesson. She has a short goal. Some people have much longer goals. Basically, certified nursing assistants will learn the importance of effective communication and ways to communicate with someone suffering from Alzheimer's disease. And then they learn strategies for coping with those difficulties. She has a nice graphic. And next we come to her objectives and another nice graphic. In her learning objectives, take a close look at these. They're well formed. They include the condition, the performance, and the criteria. The condition, given a computer that provides an e-learning course about communication. That's the condition that the students need in order to do the performance. The performance is that the CNA students will be able to describe what communication means. And the criteria is they will describe at least 2 types of communication and explain 2 types of verbal and nonverbal strategies for effective communication. So that's one learning objective with all 3 elements or components that you need to have in your learning objective. So I suggest you take a look at hers. They're well formed, as I said. Next, we come to the activities page. In her activities page, she has the topic just to kick students off. Basically, the activities page is the page where you will go ahead and put your entire lesson. And since you probably have different components to your lesson, different events. For example, you'll have a lecture, and then the students will break out in teams and they'll go do some research, and then they'll come back together and create a project, and then they'll present. Those are 4 different instructional activities or instructional events. I suggest you break out your lessons or your process this way, your activities or your process. What she did was she broke hers out by the days. Hers take place over 3 Saturdays. So she has hers broken out by days. In the first day, it's a 2-hour Saturday. They're going to go ahead and look at this e-learning course provided, and they'll have 60 minutes to complete it. And then they're going to get a verbal communication strategies handout. They're going to look at this handout and talk with the class about their own experiences regarding communications with patients suffering from Alzheimer's. That's the first Saturday. The second Saturday, again, 2 hours, and they're going to go to a mind mapping tool. For example, Prezi might be one, and they're going to create a mind map that describes 3 types of challenging behaviors presented by Alzheimer's disease patients and the communication strategies, verbal and nonverbal, that could be used to cope with those behaviors. She's provided links to different mind mapping tools, and she provides an example of a mind map below. Let's go down and take a look at that, because you have to attach it down here. at the bottom of your Zunal.com website page. Here we go. Okay, and her mind mapping page. Oops, excuse me, sorry. Okay. And here's the mind map that she's using as an example, which is great. Very useful, very helpful. And then she's got it all laid out for them, and then they have to fill in the information. Okay, back to the lesson. Okay, her third Saturday, and they have a week to complete it. Before the next class, they're going to look at research, do some research. They're going to look at reality orientation and validation therapy. And she has an internet research cheat sheet, and they're going to create a 2 to 3 page report. So go ahead and look this over. I'm not going to really go into it in detail as far as the process of her lessons. But she did create a nice cheat sheet that you guys might want to look at. It's right here. And this is her internet research cheat sheet. And she actually had them go out to the Ashford Library, look at the databases by subject, have them do research under health and medicine, and gave them a great little cheat sheet of how to go find some peer-reviewed journals, including how to use keywords for searching. So I suggest that you take a look at that as well, her cheat sheet. Now, finally, in her evaluation, she has 2 rubrics, and they're attached below. She has a research paper rubric and a mind mapping rubric. And if we take a look at one of those, here's her research paper rubric, and you can see that she has a nice rubric written up. Now, I have a link for how to create a rubric. It's a great tool that makes rubrics for you, and you should be looking for that link as well. I'll send that out to you. Okay, so that's all there is to a website that houses your lesson. And Zunal is a great start if you don't have much experience in building a website. Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, just give me a call anytime.